Cars provide us with convenient alternatives for transportation. Because of this, it's vital for us to ensure that our vehicles remain in their best condition. To achieve this, we normally have to rely on the assistance of mechanics. Mechanics can come in handy in various situations, from diagnosing particular problems to having these issues resolved in the best methods possible. Nevertheless, there's a dark side to mechanics that people aren't aware of. It's in fact very easy for your mechanic to be misleading or downright dishonest. After all, they're the experts you're trusting with one of your most expensive and least understood possessions. With a charming smile, a personable attitude, and a sense of camaraderie, they can and will take advantage of your confidence and leave you dead broke, or worse, 6 feet deep. From deadly tire scams, aggressive billing practices, and insane scare tactics, there are countless secrets your local auto mechanic definitely doesn't want you to know. So here are 7 secrets your car mechanic doesn't want you to know. The use of scare tactics. Have you ever brought your car to a mechanic and you were told that you could no longer drive it even for a single mile because of some mysterious problem that was recently discovered? Has your mechanic acted like he was concerned about your safety, only to push you to have your car immediately repaired? Chances are your mechanic is using scare tactics. Mechanics earn their salary from doing repairs on your vehicle. Therefore, they might resort to scare tactics to force you to leave your car, allowing them to execute a repair job. Don't be afraid to ask for a second opinion from another mechanic in your neighborhood. Don't sign a blank authorization form. This may sound stupid, but there are actually people who would sign a blank authorization form, and every time they do, they regret it. Once your mechanic has your signature on a blank authorization form, it gives them authority to do anything they want, and charge you a ridiculous amount as a result. If you do sign an authorization form, make sure it clearly specifies the problem, the repair job to fix it, and the cost up front. Remember, authorization forms are binding documents. Review it carefully before signing. The mechanic should have a scan tool or an engine analyzer. Even if the mechanic is trained for the job, he or she probably can't diagnose a lot of problems with just a look at the engine. If the mechanic is able to diagnose the problem without using any tools, don't trust the findings. Chances are these are inaccurate, or a wild guess at best. The mechanic should invest in a scan tool and an engine analyzer. These are handy tools that can be used to determine a problem easily. If a mechanic tells you that they don't need these tools, it's a sign that they're either highly incompetent or scamming you. In that case, you should leave immediately and find another person to carry out the job. Services you don't need. Mechanics will do anything to milk money out of you, and one way they'll try to swindle you out of every penny you have is by suggesting additional services that are 100% completely unnecessary. They do this by making the surprise additional service of the utmost importance, when in reality it doesn't have a significant effect on the performance of your vehicle, if at all. Among others, coolant and power steering flushes are 2 services they'll likely recommend. Truth is, your car can run up to 100,000 miles without undergoing any of these useless services. The truth about synthetic oil. If you're going to a mechanic for an oil change, chances are you'll be told that synthetic oil is a better choice for your car. And yes, this is true, particularly due to its improved mileage, additives that boost protection and can clean your car's engine, better function in cold and extreme weather, and it's cleaner with fewer impurities. Nevertheless, what the mechanic may not tell you is that synthetic oil is costly. Before you change your oil, don't hesitate to ask the price that you have to pay, and always get it in writing. If the mechanic suggests using synthetic oil, just remember it's going to cost you a lot more. Wait till Monday. A mechanic friend once confessed to us that he does his worst work on Fridays because he tends to rush the job to get ready for the weekend. If you can wait, take your car in on a Monday when it will get the time that it deserves. Better yet, if it's work that can wait, ask your mechanic if you can leave the car with them while you're on vacation. The mechanic can take all the time he needs to fix any recurring problems and give it a tune-up, so you know it'll get special care. Most mechanics don't mind keeping your car until you get back from your trip, giving them more time to work on it. Free lifetime muffler replacement. The muffler is one part of your car that you might need a change. When you approach a mechanic, you might be tempted to say yes when you're offered free lifetime muffler replacement. If you say yes, you'll end up paying much more in the long run. This is one dirty tactic mechanics use to empty unsuspecting customers' bank accounts. In the end, you'll still be paying a great deal for pipe repairs, losing you money. Tire scams. Worn tire treads are a big hazard to everyone on the road, but two hidden dangers many of us don't know about could pose an equal and even greater risk to tire safety, and they're both the result of scams. Unknowing buyers, particularly those looking for a bargain, could be lured to purchasing replacement tires that aren't as new as they look, because they've been re-grooved or simply because they're fakes. The process of re-grooving involves cutting into the tire and removing strips so the tread meets the legal depth requirements again. It's distinctively different from retreading, which is generally a reliable process of applying new rubber to the carcass of the tire. In this case, rubber is being added rather than taken away. Regrooving can be perfectly legal on tires that have been manufactured to allow for the process. In this case, tires usually have the word regroovable on their sides. Regroovable tires are almost made exclusively for the trucking and passenger transport industries, which are again subject to tough safety regulations. Any other use, at least in the US and Canada, they're illegal, which means they shouldn't be on private cars. Inevitably, scammers have homed in on this and have reported using them on used cars or selling them separately as partly used. In reality, they're producing tires that are easily prone to shredding, punctures, and blowouts. If you try to regroove tires yourself, or if you buy or use a regrooved tire even unknowingly, you could be putting lives in danger, breaking the law and facing fines up to $1,000 per tire, and invalidating your car insurance. So always make sure that you carefully inspect your tires, whether being brought individually or on used cars. Don't tell the mechanic that you're asking for a second opinion. If you suspect a mechanic isn't being honest with you, don't hesitate to drive away and get a second opinion. People usually do this when they can't believe the outrageous prices their mechanic charges. However, when you drive to the second mechanic, don't tell them that you're there for a second opinion. Rather, pretend you haven't asked around. Most importantly, don't tell the mechanic the first price you were quoted. Get free service. Did you know that many chain auto parts stores like Pep Boys and Advanced Auto Parts will perform simple services for free? From finding out why your check engine light is on, to aligning your tires, or even loaning you tools to do car maintenance. The on-staff mechanics are also often willing to install parts you buy in store, even if those particular services aren't listed on their site. This can save you up to $20 or $30 or more in labor costs on windshield wipers, batteries, tail lights, and other items. Be sure to ask about this service at the customer service counter or call ahead to see if your local auto store participates. Get rid of car dents for free. Believe it or not, there may be a way to remove that dent from the side of your car without spending a penny. Before you head into the mechanic, try this trick instead. Rub Vaseline on the edge of a clean toilet plunger, then place it over the dent and pump it out like you would a toilet clog. Your friends and family will laugh at you until the dent pops out and you save a $300 trip to the mechanic. They have no idea how your problem should be fixed. You would expect that a mechanic should know how to resolve all of your car repair problems. However, you'll be shocked that even the best car mechanic doesn't have a solution for your car, particularly with the complicated electric equipment found in today's vehicles. As a result, don't allow mechanics to throw spare parts on your vehicle haphazardly, hoping that the problem will just resolve itself. They might not be certified. Being a mechanic is a job that can generate a steady stream of income, which is why a lot of people tend to do it without the necessary qualifications. Some mechanics might not be licensed to do their jobs, but they'll try to hide it just to make a quick buck from unsuspecting customers. Make sure your mechanic is certified by either the National Institute for Automotive Association Service Excellence Certification or a AAA certification. Furthermore, make sure your mechanic has a proper operating license and the required skills. Ask questions. Ask. This is what you should do when you're in front of a mechanic. Mechanics often keep their customers in the dark, giving little to no information other than an expensive repair bill once the work is complete. But if you know how to ask the right questions, no stone will be left unturned. Show the mechanic that you know things about your car, and that you're not to be trifled with. Before deciding to work with a mechanic, ask a couple of questions, such as how long they've been doing their job, and an estimate of the cost to repair your car. Their response will give you a good idea if the mechanic is right for the job. Well guys, those are 7 secrets your car mechanic doesn't want you to know. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like what you see at the channel, subscribe and put post notifications on. You could also follow the channel on Instagram at Modern Muscle YT. I'm Jeff from Modern Muscle, and I'll see ya next time.